This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. This weekend it broke that Steve Bannon had volunteered to testify before the January 6th House Select Committee investigating the event that I believe he had a hand in, allegedly, the insurrection, the attempted coup, the failed yet attempted overthrow of the United States government by way of reinserting extra-constitutionally Donald Trump into office by negating the 2020 election, by reversing the results of the 2020 election, by disenfranchising 81 million plus Americans. He claimed executive privilege early on surrounding the events of the insurrection, meaning that he had been giving counsel to Donald Trump, and because of their interactions, he was exempt from testifying because of some executive privilege claim, which is nonsense since he was fired by Donald Trump. He was not an advisor, an employee of the government on the insurrection. He had been fired in 2017. The insurrection took place in 2021. So he was held in contempt of Congress. The Justice Department moved forward, indicted him, is going to trial to convict him of contempt of Congress. And he comes out and he says, now I'm willing to testify. Now this is a problem because to call him a dirty trickster is to not do full justice to just the kind of chaos that he ensues, just the kind of chaos that he sows. He is the minister of chaos for the Donald Trump array of idiots that orbit his head. Worse than Roger Stone, who's become more of a cartoon character. Steve Bannon actually has a following, actually can incite people to violence and discord. And when this news broke this weekend, I said to a few friends and my wife, I said, this is not good. I hope that the January 6th committee doesn't take him at his word that he's going to be voluntarily testifying as some kind of a signal of his patriotism or willingness to get at the truth. Because he is known, he calls himself a Leninist, and he wants to burn all of it down and rebuild it from the ashes. This is part of his political ethos, Steve Bannon. And I woke up this morning and the Department of Justice issued this motion to exclude evidence or argument relating to the defendant's 11th hour assertion that he is willing to testify before the Select Committee. And in it, there's all kinds of information that lends itself to what I believed and likely what you believed, that Steve Bannon is nothing but trouble. Steve Bannon wasn't going in good faith to testify. He was going for the element of chaos and to throw things into a media spotlight. I'm going to read from this NBC News article. It's a little bit more concise than I could put it off the top of my head. The headline, Justice Department casts doubt on Bannon's willingness to testify before the January 6th committee. The Justice Department on Monday cast doubt on Steve Bannon's newfound willingness to testify before the House Select Committee, probing the January 6th assault on the Capitol, calling his about-face on cooperating with the panel and, quote, attempt to change the optics days before his trial on charges of criminal contempt of Congress is set to begin. In a filing, here it is, these 5 pages. In a filing with the Federal District Court in Washington, federal prosecutor said Bannon's last-minute efforts to appear months after he defied a subpoena from the Select Committee for testimony and documents are irrelevant to whether he refused to comply with House investigators' demand in the fall of 2021. Quote, his continued failure to comply with the subpoena's document demand while claiming he now will testify suggests his actions are little more than an attempt to change the optics of his contempt on the eve of trial, not an actual effort at compliance, Justice Department lawyers told the court. They said the circumstances surrounding Bannon's 11th hour reversal suggest his sudden wish to testify is not a genuine effort to meet his obligations, but a last-ditch attempt to avoid accountability. Then finally, quote, the defendant's timing suggests that the only thing that has really changed since he refused to comply with the subpoena in October 2021 is that he is finally about to face the consequences of his decision to default, the prosecutors told the court. I believe it's more than that, though. Obviously, there is an element here of him trying to avoid accountability, avoid jail time and a meager fine. And I think that the January 6th Select Committee and its members, its chairman, its vice chair, are individuals who are well aware of the chicanery, if you will, that Steve Bannon will bring to bear. I think they get the kind of character he is. Not the kind of character he has, I think they understand that too, but the kind of character that he is and plays on TV. If you're kind of unaware of all of this, though, let me read from this New York Times article. And it is strange to me, and this is why I often read from multiple sources on this program. This is why I encourage you to read from multiple sources to get your information from a panoply of media sources, because you're going to get a little bit more information from each one, or a little different information from each one, giving you a more fulsome picture from which to draw your conclusions. Because in the weekend before this Monday thing dropped, no one was questioning whether or not he was honest or sincere in his effort to stand under oath before the House Select Committee and give testimony. They all took it at face value. Oh, he says this, he's willing. When questions need to be asked, it's valid to ask those questions. Given Steve Bannon's track record of lying and subterfuge and defending Donald Trump and chaos everywhere he goes, it is wise to ask the question, is this guy serious? So let's read a little bit from this New York Times article, just 3 or 4 paragraphs here. The headline, Bannon facing jail and fines, agrees to testify to January 6th panel. Steve Bannon, the former Trump campaign manager and White House advisor, made the abrupt about-face after the former president authorized him to talk to investigators. There is no authorizing. He didn't have executive privilege. He wasn't an employee of the executive branch of the government on the day of the insurrection. Unless, of course, the insurrection was planned before he was fired in 2017, executive privilege does not hold. It does not apply at all. With his criminal trial for contempt of Congress approaching, Steve Bannon, an ally of former ex-president Donald Trump, who was involved in his plans to overturn the 2020 election, has informed the House committee investigating the Capitol attack that he is now willing to testify, according to 2 letters obtained by the New York Times. His decision is a remarkable about-face for Mr. Bannon, who until Saturday had been among the most obstinate and defiant of the committee's potential witnesses. He had promised to turn the criminal case against him into the, quote, misdemeanor from hell for the Justice Department. But with the possibility of 2 years in jail and fines looming on the horizon, meager fines, by the way, for a man who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and fines looming on the horizon, Mr. Bannon has been authorized to testify by Mr. Trump, his lawyer told the committee late on Saturday in a letter, which was reported earlier by The Guardian. So check your sources. Read multiple articles about things. Or if you get your news, that's substantially from this platform here, watch multiple videos. Watch me. That's very, very important. Watch multiple sources to get what you're getting. because your mind can be changed. Your mind should be changed and altered, your opinions, based on the different information that you receive. It needs to be credible, of course, but you can't take the Saturday article and then have that be it. You need to continue. I don't need to do a media class here, but it's important. That's why I do so here. Anyway, what do you think about this? I would love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I am on Twitter, @Dollemore. I am on TikTok, @Dollemore. And I'm on the Instagram, @Dollemore. All of those are great places to connect with me outside of YouTube. And if I bring you value, and only if I do, if I'm just another ding dong that you watch on YouTube, no problem. Also, if it's out of your financial means, don't worry about it. If you have to budget in supporting my show or any other, if you have to budget it in, do not worry about it. You take care of yourself. But if you are in a financial position to do so and you feel compelled, if the spirit moves you, please consider supporting my work right here on the platform. Click the join button below this video, become a channel member for $1.99 a month, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Anyway, big things ahead this week. We're going to find out all kinds of new information. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.